My name is Katrina, and I'm a breast cancer survivor. I was diagnosed in October of 2004. I found a lump while I was watching TV. And it was on a Friday, of course, so no doctor's office was open. So on Monday, I called my family doctor and they got me right in. And then they sent me to have an ultrasound. But he had already had a surgeon set up for me the following Monday. And afterwards, the nurse came in and was like, well, you can't leave. And I'm like, why? And she's like, the doctor wants you to wait until he's done. He had he sent the biopsy out for emergency ASAP. So the nurse and the doctor came in and he was like, well, I'm just gonna tell you straight out, you have breast cancer. Went home, called my daughters and called, my brothers and sisters. But the thing of it is that I was scared because I didn't know what was gonna happen. And I had just lost my father in February to lung cancer. My sister asked the doctor if it was his wife, mother, sister, or daughter, what would he recommend? And he was like, a mastectomy because, the way that it grew, it was growing so fast and it was like really aggressive. He decided that that would be my best option. So that was the option, that I took. And my sister said, well, we kind of dealt with cancer before. So what stage is she? And the doctor was like, oh, she's curable one day. And that really made me feel awful. I mean, that was the first time I really, really felt awful because how can you say she's curable one day? That's like you had no bedside manner. So my sister was like, well, let's find another doctor. And I'm like, no. I went in the other room and I sat there and tears came down and I prayed and I was like, I'm not going to see another doctor because she's going to work with me and she's going to help me deal with whatever I'm dealing with right now because I just had this feeling. She was a good doctor. She just didn't have that compassion with her patients. I was 41 when I got diagnosed, and when I did the chemo and when my hair fell out, I have hair in certain spots on my head, but it never really grew back because I had very long hair and it never grew back. And I was just so self-conscious about that too. I seen all the other ladies and their hair grew back so long and pretty and it was a different texture. Now mine is a different texture, but it would grow on the sides, but it wouldn't grow in the top. So it's like I'll wear wigs. And even now to this day, after all of these years, it still hasn't grown to be where it was before. You can be a different person every day with your hair. You can have on a different wig every day, and you can be this person or that person. It did hurt at the beginning when I noticed that, it wasn't coming back. And I'm like, it's just hair. So I'm always like changing up with different things, doing different wigs or, as they say, get a sew and get some weave. And like one day I might be long and one day I might be short. And, so it's beautiful. It's me. So I just have to accept me for who I am and what I have. I did end up having plastic surgery. I had the implant put in. It worked good. But the first time it felt funny. And it was like looking like it was no breast there. So I had to call the doctor again. And I'm like, look, my breast don't look like it's where it's supposed to be. And so I went in and he's like, you're right. We have to go back in. And so we went back in and he put another implant in because I guess that one was leaking and stuff. And then we got that one in and I'm like, okay, and now I feel better. And then all of a sudden I'm like, why do I feel my breast under my arm? And it was like, it was moving. And I'm like, so I called it, I'm like, look, I'm about fed up with this. Like my breast is under my arm and stuff. And that one, it just seemed like it was defected. So I had to end up having another surgery to get another implant in, and after that one, it worked about time. The second doctor was Dr. Baum. Dr. Baum, he's in with Dr. Daboni. He's the best. He made you laugh. He conversated with you, and I just felt real comfortable when I got to that office because he was more down to earth. You gotta have your mammogram done. I'm like, okay, on the other breast. So I went and had that mammogram done on, my right side, and we were in there, and so the lady was like, well, the doctor that reads it, she said he wants to come out and talk to you. I'm like, here we go. And so he says, you have very, very dense breasts. He said, I recommend that you have a breast MRI. And I'm like, okay. So, I called the oncologist. I'm like, he wants me to have a breast MRI. So we did the breast MRI. That was very scary. I've done MRIs and stuff, but this one, the way, it was just scary. So I did it. And so they called me the next day and they were like, oh, we see something. I'm going to talk to the surgeon and see what they want to do. I'm waiting for the phone call, waiting. They called me back. They was like, we're going to watch it for 6 months. You're going to do what? She was like, yeah, we're going to watch it for 6 months. So I had another appointment with Dr. Baum. So I went in and I'm like, I went to the doctors and they said they saw something. So, you know how you can go in the portal and pull things up. He's like, well, what do you want to do? I'm like, well, if I find a surgeon that's willing to remove my breast, I said, would you do the implant and stuff? He was like, yeah. He said, I have a doctor that's pretty good. And I went back for my post-op appointment. So I said, so what do you think? He said, well, it's not cancer. He said, but all I can say is you did the best thing. You made the best decision of your life. After reading your reports from your other breasts and seeing what I seen in this one, he said, I can't tell people or suggest what they should do. He said, so that's why I let you make your own decision, because you came to me and that was the best decision. So my thing was, if I would have waited 6 months, it probably would have turned into breast cancer again, and stuff. So that's why I advocated for myself. Me and Bonita and some other ladies just started meeting in Bonita's kitchen. It started with like 4 of us, and then it came to 5 of us, then it came to 6 of us, then it came to 7. I'm like, Bonita, your kitchen is getting a little tight. But the thing of it was, we just came in as being support to other women that were dealing with breast cancer. And there was a young lady, I always call her a young lady, but she was older than me. Her name was Annette. She was like, well, we need to form our own group. We need a name. So everybody was like, well, what are we going to be? What are we going to call ourselves? Why not call ourselves Shades of Inspiration? Because we're inspiring different shades of women. It's not just us, it's every woman. And I'm like, hey, that was cool. Like, everybody was like, yeah. We had to pick like board members, and she was like, Katrina, you should be the president, because you really like wanted for us to be here. And I'm like, I just wanted to be able to help other women. We just wanted to make women feel good. We wanted to talk to them about their families and how their family was feeling, because when you go through breast cancer, it's not just you. You have to make your family feel comfortable. With Shades, it's like we think about the families. We think about your kids, your husband. It was just everybody, because, those are your motivators. The friends are there at the beginning, and then people just fade away. So, you're going to have your kids and your husband and, and your family, but then we wanted you to have Shades also, because we wanted to be there. Like, if you didn't feel like cleaning up today, maybe some other women can come over and help you clean up, or just come over and just be a support, or call the phone and be like, okay, I'm like, okay, how you feeling? Like, good, and just let you vent and let you talk, to get some of that out, because the more you talk about it, the better you feel. And the more you talk about it, your story can help someone else. Some people don't like to talk about it, themselves or what's going on, because I've always said to people back in the days, families didn't talk about what diseases came in their families. They were really hush-hush, especially in the African American community. You didn't talk about if you had breast cancer, if you had lung cancer, liver cancer, or if you had diabetes or something. You didn't talk about that. It's time to get out of that. You need to talk about it. You need to open up, because you don't know how many people you can help if they just knew. And even with yourself, if you knew your history. In our community, with the African American community, Latino, we're trying to get out to women. Like, we work with the health department, and we've worked along with She Matters. And the good thing about the health department and She Matters is that they're going out and having what they're called mammogram parties. She Matters does mammogram parties, and you get women to sign up to have your mammogram done. And they'll have like maybe a massage therapist there. They'll have like breakfast and stuff like that to make the women feel more comfortable. But they are reaching out, more into the inner city and stuff, because that's where a lot of us, African American people that are living, are so scared. They're scared to find out what would happen. And if they see like the women from Shades of Inspiration and like see the smiles that we have on our face and see what we look like, because a lot of people look at me and be like, I would never believe you had breast cancer. I'm like, yeah. I said, look at me. If I can look like this, you can look like this also. If you don't have insurance, that's where the health department come in, and they will get you in, and they would like get the doctors and stuff set up so you can go see it in a doctor, and they will get like set up the mammograms, and they will work on getting you, that stuff paid for you and stuff. And after you have your mammogram, you can continue seeing that doctor also, but they will help you with like insurance issues, getting insurance. And for the women that do have insurance, what they do is they'll refer them to like She Matters. And with She Matters, you can have insurance or you don't have to have insurance. They don't deny anyone. We do the walk to get women and families to come out together and, walk together, and let's try to get ourselves healthy. But also it's like a fundraiser also, so we can continue to support the women that comes through our organization, because every woman that come newly diagnosed, whether you come to our group or you don't, if we find out about, someone that's going through breast cancer or just got diagnosed, we have these bags that we give to women. And in those bags, there's a pink Bible, there's a journal, there's all type of information on breast cancer. There's a book in there that has different organizations in there that can help women that are dealing with breast cancer. We put different things in there like hand sanitizer, bracelets, pens, pencils, anything that would kind of make the woman feel better about themselves. We need funds to do that, because we're a nonprofit organization. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of what the outcome can be, because if you get detected early enough, you don't have to worry about it. They have so many different cures now, and so for so many different women, you don't have to be afraid like it was back in the days. From what I was told, they only had like one type of chemo that they gave to every woman, and so now it's like every woman that has to do chemo might not do the same type of chemo. There's different type for different women, and stuff. So we try to get out there, give them information, educate them. This program right here, this will make women feel so much more comfortable with their self. and to know that they can look at their breasts, because I know women that don't even have mirrors because they don't want to see what their breasts look like. And my thing is, I want to be able to show women that, hey, look at me, I did it. I mean, I know everybody is not as spunky, maybe I want to say, as me, but why not?